You ever meet someone and realize later they were the kind of person who could ruin someone's life? For no reason at all? This is a story about one of those people. It's about friendship, jealousy, and a quiet kind of revenge that hit where it hurt most. If you like real stories that make you think twice about loyalty, lean in. This one's called Hurt My Friend. Good luck with your education. Back when dial-up was still a thing and the internet felt like the future, I was a student at my local community college. I'd moved in with my girlfriend, we'll call her Lucy, to split the rent. One night, Lucy invited a classmate named Sarah over for a game night. Turns out I knew Sarah from high school. We weren't close, but we got along fine. After that night, Sarah started coming over a lot. For dinner, to watch movies, to hang out. She fit in with our group. Sometimes she brought her boyfriend, Jay. And that was awkward. Jay never really fit. He was standoffish and uncomfortable, the kind of guy who made everyone else feel awkward. He came around a couple of times and then mostly stopped showing up. A few weeks later, Sarah called Lucy, crying. She told us Jay had gotten really upset about her spending time at our place. He accused her of cheating. We don't know whether he thought she was cheating with me, with Lucy, or both. None of it was true. He confronted her, yelled, and when she tried to leave, he shoved her. She tripped over a coffee table, hit the floor, and ended up with a big bruise on her lower back and butt. She said it was the first time he'd ever done anything like that, and that maybe it was an accident. But I wasn't buying that. I'm not a violent person. I'm big, but I avoid fights. This felt different. Someone had crossed a line with a friend. I wanted to punch him. But that's not who I am. Instead, a different plan formed. Quieter. Surgical. A way to make sure he couldn't just show up and scare Sarah again. To make his life inconvenient in a way that mattered. At the time, I worked as a student employee in the college administration building. My job let me access student records, class schedules, student IDs, enrollment info. The last day to add or drop classes without penalty was coming up, and I realized if I could affect Jay's enrollment, I could make sure he couldn't show up to class and intimidate Sarah. So on that deadline, using my access, I removed him from the classes where it would matter most and left other course changes in place that would make it difficult for him to keep his status. One important detail, Jay was a foreign student. If he didn't stay enrolled in enough units, his visa status could be jeopardized. I wasn't trying to ruin him forever. I was trying to make him disappear from Sarah's life. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't want it traced back to me. But a week later, Sarah told me about Tuesday's English class. Jay showed up expecting a seat, and there wasn't one. The professor called roll from the official roster. Who wasn't on the roster? Jay. Someone on the waitlist had gotten in. Legally, officially. And Jay couldn't prove he belonged there. He argued. He protested. The teacher had the official list. There was nothing Jay could do. Sarah said she never saw him in that class again. Over time, the classes with course fees were gone from his schedule, and those other entries disappeared too. I suspected he'd been expelled or forced to withdraw. I never checked. I didn't want to know more, and I certainly didn't want to stick my neck out. Sometimes I wonder if I went too far. If I crossed a line. It's a strange place to be. Engineering consequences for someone based on a single violent act. But then I remember how small Sarah sounded when she called Lucy. I remember the bruise. And I remember this. Violence against someone you supposedly love. That deserves consequences. Maybe my revenge was petty and calculated. Maybe it was extreme. But I don't regret protecting someone who couldn't protect herself. Lucy and I later broke up, and I lost contact with Sarah. I never revealed what I'd done, and I never got dragged into the legal mess. But the result was there. Jay stopped showing up, and Sarah didn't have to run into him every week. For me, that was enough. If this story made you think, hit that like button. Want more true stories about loyalty, revenge, and messy human drama? Subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment below. Did I go too far? Or was I justified? I read every comment and I'll be picking some to read in the next episode. Share this with a friend who loves a good revenge story. Or with someone who needs a reminder that standing up for people matters. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Protect the people you love. And remember, hurt my friend, and you might lose more than just face.